Bloomberg is talking about the Canadian economy added more than 8,000 jobs in December, beating economists' expectations. The country's unemployment rate is also up, and full-time jobs saw a rise while part-time ones saw a decline. Let's break the numbers down further with Travis O'Rourke. He is president of Hayes. Travis, thanks as always for joining us in studio, especially. Initial thoughts on the numbers?
Look, there's nothing too exciting in it. 8,800 jobs, whatever. But I think we had a correction. Last month, I talked to you guys about you can't really go from 6.9 to 6.5, adding 50,000 jobs. So to now add 10,000 and go from 6.5 to 6.7, something was up there. I don't trust last month's data. 6.7, where we sit today, I think that's correct.
That feels real?
I feel like this is good.
What would have, just out of curiosity, what might have led to such a skew or a question? What would make people question the data from?
You know what? It could have been corrections throughout the summer. It could have been, who knows, someone missed a decimal point somewhere. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I do know that 6.9 to 6.5, adding 50K, did not make sense. This feels good.
Okay. And when you look at the numbers that feel good, what are some of the positives that you're seeing?
I like to see construction going in the right direction.
Went up, right?
I do like that, just marginally, but we still like that. I really like to see that we've added 50,000 full-time jobs and dropped 42 part-time, particularly in December. December is usually driven by a lot of that, holiday spending. You've got kids in high school or university looking to pick up a few shifts there. So to see 50,000 full-time jobs, we love that.
And where's that all coming from? Like, is that the change in immigration that we saw, the drop off in immigration? What's opened up those jobs and creation?
The largest driver is healthcare, social services. I think a surprising data point for most people. I think we added 33,000 jobs for those who are age 55 plus. Wasn't expecting to see that, but healthcare, social services, there's usually some alignment there. But yeah.
With the healthcare and social services, any concern that a lot of that is probably government jobs?
I think public administration went up, healthcare and social services went up. Yes, it's not that GDP driving that we're looking for, but I'm okay with it. I still think 2026 is going to be a great year for candidates, for employers, for the economy as a whole. And starting with a beat of most economists, they thought we would lose jobs. We add 10,000. It's not many, but I feel good about it.
Okay, I want to talk about 2026, and I just want to ask about the 55 plus one. Any reasons why we saw such a spike like that?
It's a complete guess. It's just, again, tied to healthcare and social services where they tend to have a higher percentage of employment.
Yep.
I do think it's a correction. So I think looking at 1 month of data is probably not correct.
Okay, so looking forward to 2026, what do you think we're going to see?
Hayes we do a survey every year. We've got over half of employers increasing headcount. Mm-hmm. When I look back at the last year, whether we've had an election, we had government closure, we had a change in government, we've had tariffs, we've had wars, we've had Buy American. We've hit so many headwinds in 2025. And I think last January we were at 6.8. We're at 6.7. It's basically flat. That's incredible. I think we have shown to be a very resilient economy. The housing market isn't moving the way most people wanted, but people are still spending. And we have been driving the economy as consumers. Collectively, there's enough tailwind taking us to 2026, whether it's through infrastructure investment, whether it's through mining, whether it's through energy. There's a lot of excitement in C-suites around Canada, and I think people are gearing up right now. Obviously, what's going on in Venezuela is a little bit troublesome in Alberta for the moment, but I think that urgency that it will drive to get energy projects actually moving, I'm really, really excited about employment in 2026.
And what about CUSMA? What kind of a factor is that? Can you even, until we know, really, how do you factor it in?
I mean, just this personal...
And also the Supreme Court decision as well down in the States that we didn't get today.
Personal opinion, I think we have to assume CUSMA's maybe not gone, but it's going to look very, very different.
Yeah.
And part of why Canada needs to work really, really hard, whether it's pipelines west or east or finding new trading partners or doing better domestic trade within provinces, is we can no longer rely on the Americans. And I think that's exciting to a lot of corporations looking to diversify who our partners are. The way the economy looked over the last 10 years is going to look very different than the way it looks in the next 10 years. The diversification into defense spend and infrastructure and energy, I think, is exciting for Canada. So to get through 2025 relatively flat, amazing. And 2026, I'm really, really excited.
Does it feel like maybe it's giving companies some confidence that they had to retool through 2025 through all the pressure of tariffs and everything else that was going on, the uncertainty, and yet you say they've come out and now they're looking to hire. Does it give them more confidence going into it?
I do. I think there's so much going on right now where Canadian CEOs, for the first time, and as long as I can remember, everyone is pulling in the same direction. From government to public to private, everybody is going forward. We're seeing capital investment come into areas that's not just real estate. I'm really, really proud to be Canadian, and I think 2026 is going to be a year that from an economic standpoint, we can all be proud together.
And what possible headwinds might there be, do you think?
I mean, who knows what will happen with Kuzma?
Yeah, that's
did anyone predict that we were going to have what we had in Venezuela in the middle of the night? No. But for me, geopolitics can happen, and it will. It'll impact us in some way. But the domestic initiatives that Carney has put into place will protect us. And could it be worse in 2025? It would be difficult to think about what else could come.
Okay, and what kind of what surprise? Are there any things that might be a surprise or a potential surprise, a good surprise? Let's have some good news instead of everything that's coming.
Yeah, definitely. I think the entrepreneurial spirit in Canada is alive and well right now. You've got a lot of tech startups that are starting to get additional investment. I think immigration policies in the U.S. are certainly making it a lot easier for a lot of those tech workers to come to Canada. I think our government is doing a lot of work in immigration to let those who don't have a degree and who have more skilled trades experience, lived work experience to come into the country. I think the housing market is in a place where there's so much money sitting on the sidelines. We've got buyers around the country waiting to jump into it. I think the rare earths drive that's happening internationally right now, Canada's about as well positioned as any other country. I think there's so many ways that we can get pops. We're not going to get all of them, but we take 2 or 3, and we're going to be in a great place as a country.
Okay, we'll wrap it up there. Travis, thanks as always for joining us, and Happy New Year.
You got it. Happy New Year.
Travis O'Rourke is president at Hayes.